Welcome, friends, to the next episode of my RANS S-21 build. We're going to be tackling preparing the wings to be installed on the fuselage. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done up on the dog bone area up there, a few other little things, and I want to get all that done and prepped so that when it's time to actually install the wings, I'm going to have some helpers over for that. I want to make sure everything is good and ready so that I'm not trying to do any tweaking or fabrication or any other kind of work while they're sitting here twiddling their thumbs waiting for me. I want to be able to bring them over and in short order put the wings on. So we're going to start doing whatever it takes to get that prepped and ready. I forgot to mention, why do I need to put the wings on now? Well, it's because the next big step in this process is the windshield and the skylight. And in order to do this correctly, the wings have to be installed because you've got to get everything to fit tightly and flush up against the wing. One of the first things I need to do is trim this dog bone area here. So with the RANS S-21, the wing spars are the front leading edge. They're an extrusion, a D-shaped extrusion, which happens to be the leading edge. And then there's also a trailing edge spar, which is just kind of a straight up I-beam-ish type extrusion. This D section slips over this weldment right here, and RANS keeps this thing oversized, and you trim this to fit. So I've already put a tape line here where I believe it's going to be trimmed on the back side. I haven't done it for the front side yet because I'm not sure, but it ends up getting quite close to that weld right there. A lot of this ends up going away. I took a page out of Derek Kenny's book, who also built an S-21, and I watched his YouTube video. And what he did was he made a little jig here with a precise measurement for where this needs to be cut or trimmed on the dog bone here. And it's just a piece of extrusion that I've done, drilled a hole in it and measured it at the correct length. It's a little difficult to get an exact measurement with this being just a hole. You really need two people, one person to hold a tape measure here directly over the center. It could shift or move. Derek had a great idea with a piece of aluminum. I copied that, thank you, Derek. And it's gonna allow me to get a perfect fit there. The same thing would happen on the other side. I'll just flip this over. It would just be upside down, but the measurement would be the same. I will have to take this off. I've just kind of temporarily had the spar fitting attached here, but that would go there, same thing. I bring this over, mark that, that's where I'm gonna cut it. The reason why I have to have a specific length, let's go look at the wings and I'll show you. So if you go to the root, this is a attachment fitting here that other piece that we just looked at slips over. So directly in center with this, you take a measurement from there down to this surface here. This is where that dog bone slips into this extrusion and a bolt runs through it right there. Well, you need a precise measurement from this surface here to the center of that. This really is the best way to do it. So once again, thanks, Derek. I think that's gonna be perfect. If I was to, see if I can do this kind of, oh, sorry, let me get you back in view here. Basically, hold on, put the bolt in my mouth. So if I was centered there, you can see that to the best I can do this by myself with one hand and a bolt in my mouth, you can see where that is. So that's what we'll end up doing. I'll of course take the windshield off because I'm gonna be grinding. Obviously, windshield doesn't need to be on there. I just temporarily kind of threw it on there to see what it would look like. So that'll come off, and I'll triple check this again and I can get to cutting that. And I've got this set right here. And that should do it. So what I'm gonna do here, it's only about heavy eighth, 150, 160 thousandths has got to come off here. It's right at that point where I could take a cutoff wheel and cut it, or I could use like one of my 40 grit flapper wheels and just take that down. I think that's what I might do. That's a little messier. There's just more material coming off, but I've got this wool blanket here protecting everything. So I think I'll hit it with the flapper disc. I got most of that ground away, and I wanted to make sure I'm doing this square. So I've got a bolt in there with a big washer. And I've tapped it all the way, and you can see there's a little gap right there, and that's because it's contacting down there on that lower corner. So I need to just take a little bit off down here, and that'll let me get that pretty square. I want to get this as square as possible. I'm going to use my pneumatic angle grinder for this. Just going to give me a little bit better fine control over where I need to take off that little area, and then I'll ultimately just come in and finish it with a file. That's pretty square. I'm just going to touch that up with a little bit of sandpaper now, and that should be it for the back side of this dog bone. I've hit that up with a little sandpaper, got that kind of polished up. What I want to do now is hit it with my single flute countersink tool and just deburr that edge a little bit. There we go. I am right there. This is my little jig stick here. I might be several thousandths too long, but that's okay. I'd rather come in when we fit the wings if I need to file away at this a little bit more, but it is pretty much right there. So I'll go ahead and I guess I'll go over to the other side and do the same thing. Well, I went and measured the wing to determine where I need to trim this. In the spar, the inside between the front of the spar and the rear was 2.29 inches, the best I could measure it. I did it a couple times, and it's like plus or minus about 5 thousandths or so every time I do it. But that seems about right, because I've seen other builders, when they do it, they come in and pretty close to the front edge of that weld is where you end up trimming it. You take quite a bit off of this dog bone on the front side. So I'll do it at 2.29 both sides. And if I need to later, I could probably just file it as we fit the wings. I want to try to not have to do as much fitting when we do the wings, because that's hoisting the wings up here, trying to slide it on each time, setting it down. I want to avoid that as much as possible. But yeah, I'll start at that dimension, and hopefully that gets me close. For this, I am going to use my cutoff wheel since it's such a big cut, and I'll stay shy about maybe 80 thousandths, and then come in with the angle grinder and finish it out. All right, coming in at about 2.294, so about 4 thousandths heavy, that's fine. If I need to come in later with a file when we're fitting the wings, that's what I'll do. So this side is good to go. Got the right side done. It comes in at about 2.292. So about 2 thousandths heavy there. I think I'm at a good starting point for fitting the wings on this. Both sides are done. Got my bolts in here. I'm just gonna keep them in here so that they're there when I get time to put the wings on. I'm not searching for them. This side turned out fine. Now I was reading the manual, and on the manual they have you install these on the wings, and then you slide this up, and then you reach in here, you put a bolt through and hold the wing. I don't know. I've already got these bolted in. I don't know why you couldn't just bring the spar, aft spar in here, and when it, line it up with, you have some helpers. You'll have a couple people on the wings, run a bolt through there, and then come over here and then run this bolt through here. I'm gonna try it that way. If it looks like that's just not working out, I'll take these off, put them on the wings, and then, hold them up here and run the bolt through that way. So next steps are to verify that everything is ready for the wings. Everything looks pretty good. I want to check I've already checked the lift struts at the fittings here and everything. I get good clearance. I can slip them in and hit the bolt through there, so that's good. I'll want to check the lift struts out at the wing up here and make sure that the struts can fit in to the plates on the truss, these over here. I want to make sure everything fits in here okay. and then a bolt can go through there. I don't want to be fussing with anything when we're trying to put the wings on. So I'll check that, and then at that point, I think I'm about ready to get some helpers over here, get these wings installed. Well, today's a big day. I'm ready. I'm gonna put the wings on today. Got some helpers coming over in about an hour and a half. I'm just kind of getting everything ready. Got everything moved out. I'm gonna put the plane right in the center of the hangar so we got a lot of room to work. Once I get the wings on, I'm gonna have to kind of shuffle things around to get both aircraft in Cessna and this. It'll fit. I'll just kind of have to stagger them, but everything's ready. I'm just doing one final check to make sure when I get my helpers here, I wanna get to it and not have any surprises, hopefully. I think what I'm gonna do is I might do a little bit of video, but I'm primarily just gonna be focused on working with the guys and getting these wings on. So I'm just gonna set up camera on a tripod up on my workbench, just kind of looking down at the situation. And maybe I'll do some narration over that after. We'll see how it goes in editing, because I'm not gonna be able to sit here and do, detailed shooting of what we're doing. I just wanna get this done. So wings are coming on. And then now we'll start that rotation. You come over here, Matt. Okay, so now let's go ahead and rotate the wing. Good. And just stay on a rib if you're underneath it. Yep. You good, Matt? Yep. You guys good back there? Mm-hmm. I've got this. Okay.
Now we're in.
You're in?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And I'm looking for the middle hole, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, right there. Nobody move. That at least pins that part.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna go
Can you see
in.
it?
Yeah. Come down. Right there. Okay. And I just need to. You're good, Matt. If you want to come out here and help them.
Coming.
That was like a perfect fit. Unreal.
So that fell, I think.
Unreal.
Yes, this is angle.
Okay, you slip that in there. That may need to come out, but for now.
That's it.
Okay. Coming up a little bit. Okay, now down, slowly down. Keep coming. Keep coming. Down, 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 down. More down. Okay, right there. I'm gonna go upside down and bolt for now. Down. Okay, we take a break. Good.
And see it?
The threads will hold
See
it.
it? It wasn't even heavy, it was just like a bad angle.
Just kind of awkward more than anything. All right, 6 minutes and 30 seconds is all it took, and I'm happy to say the dog bone was perfectly trimmed the first time around. It literally just slipped right in. I could feel it dragging ever so slightly on the front and aft edge of the dog bone. So actually I got that sized perfectly. We'll see what happens on the right side next. But I've got everything pinned in, no nuts or anything just yet, just bolts pinned in there. Have a little difficulty getting the wing strut, the outer wing strut bolt put in, but got it, everything lined up. And as we look at it here, say hi everybody. These are my helpers for the day. You want at least 4 people to do this to really make it easy, so keep that in mind. But there we go. We actually have a wing, one wing on the fuselage right now, and we're gonna do the right side. Let's see if that can also do that in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. My guess is the success rate of having both perfectly sized is probably not actually gonna happen. I feel like I'm gonna have to do some grinding, but we're gonna find out. Let's do it. You'll continue on past, and now you'll swing around here. There we go. Let me get a bolt. Okay, we can come horizontal with it now. Come on in. Same thing, you watch that. Oh, first I gotta do this. Oh yeah.
Good so far.
Oh man, it's actually gonna, oh shit, it's gonna work. Right there, hang on. That's pinned. Come down, Matt. You go that way. Yep, right, back. I'm talking a 1/16 of an inch that way. A little bit more. Right there. Okay, your pin. Come on over here, Matt.
This is not fully, it's real.
That's okay. It ain't going nowhere. I'll get it in a second. Come up and down. Down, 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 down. We'll do the same thing. Just pin it, take a break. Come on down. Down, 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 down. Down a little bit. Right there. A little bit more down. Okay, right, take a break. Not one more.
Not too shabby.
So, what was that? 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
That one always goes
Getting better.
Can we get it down to a minute? We had 4 more? No?
Really big Hulk.
All right, we got the right wing on. Actually, it went on easier than the left wing. We did it in 4 minutes versus 6.5. Everything fit great. I did have to come in here with my 11 millimeter drill and just clean out the top side bracket up here while the strut was in place. And that allowed me to get the bolt down in there. So that's it. The wings are on. I don't have any nuts or anything on there yet, but it's in place. So you know what that means. Now I can start getting serious about doing the windshield and the skylight. There are wings on my S-21, and today was a major milestone. I've had a couple milestones like this in the past. One of them was mating the tail cone to the forward fuselage cage area. Another major milestone was getting it on the landing gear. That was a big day. And then hanging the engine. That was also a big day, but nothing makes this thing look more like an airplane than the day you put the wings on your fuselage. And today that happened. It went off without a hitch. Everything went so incredibly smoothly, and I'm very thankful for that. So on to the next stage, which is going to be getting the windshield fit and the skylight. And from there, it's just finishing touches. So big day today. Wings are on. No hiccups. Everything went great. So good.